If you're about to train salespeople, do you know the steps that you need to take and what you need to do? I'm Sylvan Bell. It's May 27, 2017, 2:14 in the afternoon. Perfect day to talk about sales. So this is the second video in the series about helping you know what to do for sales training. And there's a lot of times where I go to companies and I get to sit in and I get to watch the training that the company does, and there's a lot to be desired, because here's what happens is they're not prepared. They don't have printouts available. They don't have their presentation on a thumb drive. They don't have an MP3. They don't have like structure to the process, and they're really not ready to go. And so salespeople get really bored. They start rolling their eyes. So here's the thing. If you're a manager and you're sitting here and you're like, how do I set up sales training? What do I got to do? I'm brand new. How do I train my people? This is the second step. The first is define what the problem is, or define what the sales trainer is going to do. The second is like have everything available. So, if you're not prepared, salespeople do have this problem where they get bored easily, they get distracted just like anybody else. And if you don't have what you need, how do you expect them to perform? They're going to be like, well, they weren't ready for the presentation. It takes a lot of thought. It takes a lot of effort. And I see, like when I get to go into a process and there's a sales trainer in front of me or there's a sales trainer behind me, a lot of them aren't ready. Or when there's a manager doing the training, they're flat out not ready. And so the problem with that is it leads to not having a good presentation. It leads to a lot of questions that like people have, like, oh, what was supposed to happen? And it wastes a bunch of time. So I had this professor, Foss, when I was getting my undergrad. Professor Foss said, look, if you're ever giving a presentation, you always put it on a thumb drive and you always print it out. So he says, in case something happens, and he says you always have two people. One person has the thumb drive, one person has the paper, or both have thumb drives and both have papers, so that you never have to worry about it. So if a company calls me and says, hey, Scott, we want you to come do some training, I got to let you know that I have the books printed and I have them shipped to their building. I also bring a copy on a thumb drive with me just in case something happens, okay? So have your materials ready. Because, when you sit down, you bring salespeople in and the salespeople sit down and you're like, all right, we're going to get started. It's 8 o'clock. We're starting right on time. Here's page 1. Here's what you got to do. Go ahead and get started. There you go. Be prepared and be ready. So if you are a sales manager, be prepared, be ready. If you're a sales manager, like, how do I tell if the trainer that I got is any good? This is a standard. This is a basic. This is what should be done. Everything should be laid out. It should be smooth. If they say they're starting at 8, they should start at 8, minus a few small hiccups that are really out of their control. There you go. Now, if you could do a small favor for me, in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story. That would be fantastic. To the right, to the left, there is a subscribe button. You know what you got to do. You got to subscribe. And then last of all, you can send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Why not even LinkedIn? Sylvan Bell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.